Yo, what's up, everyone? I'm your host, Jeremiah, or Goku, whatever you would like to call me. And today I'm coming at you with part 4 of What If Goku Was Half Viltrumite. So, without any further ado, let's get into it.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yo, go, go.
With the Saiyans waking up from their battle cell, they ask Goku what was that power he used. And Goku generally have no idea what it is. And he tries to access it, but he can't. But they notice when Goku is fighting or sparring, they can't really sense his power anymore. So they try to do the same thing once again to someone else, and the same thing happened. This weird red hair transformation happens. And they can feel the power emanating off of it, and it's massively powerful, even more powerful than Ozaru Super Saiyan transformation that they've unlocked, and everyone gets it performed on them, and that gives them a massive power boost. But they can't activate the form at will. But they do have God Key, and Trunks eventually have to go back to his own timelines. This time being far stronger than what he was in canon, even when he was in the last part. Now having Super Saiyan 4 enhanced by Gaki, he's easily able to wipe out his versions of the androids. And later on, when Cell reverses his head, he wipes that version of Cell out too. But sadly, he still doesn't have any Dragon Balls to repair the damages. But it's going to be a slow burn for him. But he feels like he can actually restore everything that was destroyed. As we cut back, and over the course of the 7 years, Raditz, Gohan, Goku, and Vegeta and Nappa did manage to finally be able to transform in and out of that Super Saiyan red hair form, which they like to call Super Saiyan 3. Now I'm just going to call it Super Saiyan God for simplicity's sake. They do manage to actually master Super Saiyan God over the course of years, as well as perfecting Super Saiyan 4, with Goku and Gohan managing being able to unlock it as well, since it is quite a useful transformation. But Super Saiyan God is obviously better. But they wanted to master it just in case they ever needed it for something. With in this timeline, Gohan is actually the strongest, and his relationship with Vel have actually been massively driving, with them already been together at this point. Them becoming sort of like a power couple and a power superhero couple, following in Goku footsteps, kind of becoming Power Rangers, kind of becoming the great Sandman based off the Power Rangers, following in Goku footsteps. And they all have a pretty good life. And with the mastery of Super Saiyan God, pretty much everything they encounter will be a pretty much run through. But throughout the 7 years, it's mostly peace, with them growing stronger, mastering their powers, and mastering their Super Saiyan God transformation, even though they don't know what it's called. But just we know what it's called though. They do end up mastering it though. Later on, as the Supreme Kai will knock out Gohan door, since he is the most physical capable. And they've already been down with Piccolo, and Piccolo tapped God Kiyaso since he is the Divine Guardian, and Piccolo sensed the Supreme Kai, and they asked Gohan to go and train with them for the threat of Majin Buu. As Gohan would agree, as they said, you don't have to worry about school, as we could teach you a technique which will allow you to instantly teleport from our realm back here. As Goku asks if he can learn it, as well as since Shan is absolutely sure they might be able to beat Majin Buu, he decides to teach it to Goku as well. And Gohan will actually begin his training with the Supreme Kai here. in preparedness for Majin Buu, and that will lead to Gohan eventually pulling out the Great Z Sword, and with Goku there after he learned the Kai Kai, he still ends up throwing a block of Kashi at Gohan, and he does end up breaking the Z Sword. With releasing Elder Kai actually, as a gift for Gohan for actually getting him out of there, and noticing he have God Ki for whatever reason, he unlocks his hand for tissue, and Gohan unlocks his ultimate form. As he asks, "What is this? Is it even better than Super Saiyan God?" As Gohan would notice, he's not necessarily able to go Super Saiyan, nor is he able to go Super Saiyan God. As Elder Kai would, or Super Saiyan 4, or as Elder Kai would explain, this form takes the power of all of your transformations, and you're basically able to use the full power of your body in your base form, creating some sort of new transformation. So with that Super Saiyan or Zero Super Saiyan form of yours, and Super Saiyan 2, even that Super Saiyan guy, as they would say, what? Oh, that's the form name. It's called Super Saiyan God. Thousands of years ago, during my time, a Saiyan named Yamoshi, with the help of 6 other Saiyans, created that transformation, and that's what you're using. As he would be, as he would be massively impressed that they was even able to do the ritual, with him thinking Saiyans was no longer good after the Civil War what Yamoshi had, but he supposed it worked out the best. And Gohan is now officially the most powerful being on planet Earth. As the more he trains with his ultimate form, the better it becomes. And Gohan actually ends up fully mastering his ultimate form. As the Elder Kai will offer Goku the same benefit, but Goku actually deny his request, with him not wanting to just accept the power, because he's going to feel like it's a cheat code. But Supreme Guy do help him develop that skill he have, and it's a bit weird. As Supreme Guy notices, it is a bit similar to Ultra Instinct, but it's quite not that. But it's not there yet. It's weird. As this Elder Kawa asks, "Hey, have you ever met an angel called Whis?" As Goku says, "Angel Whis? I've never met anyone named that." As Elder Kai says, "Oh, never mind. I'm sure you found out anything now." As another year go by, and Gohan just got massively stronger, as with Goku having better sparring partners with Raditz, and Nappa. With Super Saiyan God, he is able to keep up with them and be on an equal playing field. They are able to get massively and far, far stronger than they are in canon. And when Babidi appears on Earth, they go right to a ship, and they're able to blast through absolutely everything. But the problem is that also unleashes Majin Buu. As they would notice, hey, is this really the great evil you were talking about? As Buu would go walking around since Babidi is dead, and since they accidentally released him, and Buu would just sit there really confused, and they ask, "Who are you?" And Buu asks them if they want to play. As Buu would try to attack them, and he would be super confused of what the heck is going on, and everyone and Boo begins to get angrier and angrier since they're not even paying him attention, and Boo eventually loses rage, and he eventually splits himself in half somehow. As they're all sort of confused, like what happened. As Boo attempts to turn the Gray Boo to candy, and something inside of Goku is like, maybe I should help the fat one, the fat one, and Goku helping Boo. Go is actually able to overpower Grey Boo, turning him into chocolate, and Boo ends up eating him, transforming into Super Boo. But this time, the good side being absolutely being in control, as he gets far skinnier, and everyone noticed, oh, he's actually a lot stronger now. As Boo asks, who are they? As Goku would say, yo, I don't think this creature is really that it's really that evil necessarily. But I think he's harmless with the proper teachings, as they place him in mixture with Mark with Hercule, since Goku knows he's good with people since he is the Earth champion and all. And he's able to docile Boo out, and Boo actually promises not to kill anyone. And he even gets himself a dog. As he's actually a really decent he's actually a decent sparring partner for everyone. Since is like fighting, he's getting actively getting stronger, as well as everyone else. And Majin Buu having potential even greater, having potential even greater than all of them. And Buu actually gets excited, and he mellows out a bit as he trains to Mark. I will not be going over the events of Dragon Ball Daima because one, I have not seen that Dragon Ball Daima, and two, I don't want to watch Dragon Ball Daima in order to go over it in my what up. So like, if y'all want to see a Dragon Ball Daima what up, go watch it somewhere else. I'm just saying it's not going to be here. But moving on, over the 4 years, they do end up unlocking Super Saiyan Blue, as well as Gohan. But when he tries to go Super Saiyan Blue, it just gets added to his ultimate form. The transformation itself just gets added to his ultimate form. He gets far, far stronger. As they do end up, since they have literally 4 years to do it, they end up perfecting that at Super Saiyan Blue. As Vegeta, Raditz, and Goku not wanting to rely on that Super Saiyan League, they begin trying to find ways to go beyond their ultimate forms. As eventually Beerus would wake up, and he asks Whis for information about a Super Saiyan God. As we used to say, there's actually a Patrick to them. And the youngest Super Saiyan God being about 11 years old right now, which is Goten. Since Goku had God Key, Goten and Trunks were able to naturally unlock it faster than everybody else, because not only have they been around individuals with God Key for so long, Goku already had it when Goten was conceived. So it's actually quite useful and effective for them. As Beerus wanted to fight one, he goes to Earth, and Piccolo would be there to beat him. As Beerus know, this Namekian is actually quite powerful, and he asks who is he. As Piccolo would say he's the current guardian of Earth. So Beerus would say, so you are some form of deity, huh? A Namekian god. As Beerus actually is kind of intrigued by this, and he challenges Piccolo to a fight, and he asks Piccolo not to hold back. As Piccolo would agree, going into his full power right away, going into his orange. I'm going to call it a dragon transformation here. And if you guys get to know, that transformation is on the same level as Super Saiyan, is on the same level as Super Saiyan God or even Super Saiyan Blue. As he begins to face off against Beerus, and this fight is actually really good with Piccolo using techniques that Beerus have never seen before. As doing Piccolo time as Guardian, he trained under Turtle School. He trained under the Crane School and have a plethora of other techniques created by the Z Fighters. And Beerus is actually impressed, and he even thinks Piccolo might even be a good candidate for a God of Destruction one day. As he says, no, Namekians don't normally live that long to begin with, even though if he does get selected, he will be immortal. But he doesn't think Piccolo has the proper mindset to be a destroyer, since he is the guardian of this planet after all. But he really does enjoy Piccolo company, and even though he's only pushed to use 80% of his base power, or maybe at this point actually 90% of his base power. Piccolo did offer him a really, really good fight. And he is impressed by Piccolo as he reveals the reason why he came down to Earth in the first place. As Piccolo asks, "Oh, we have plenty of those guys. Would you like to meet them?" As Piccolo would get in contact with Goku and the others, and they were all loud to the lookout. As Beerus actually spots out Gohan since he's currently the strongest. As Vegeta and Raditz and Goku would actually say, no, he's not. As they all power up into Super Saiyan Blue, and the guy here gave out is impressive, and Beerus is madly impressed. It's like a Super Saiyan God bargain cell. So he fights each of them off one by one. And the person who ends up giving him the greatest fight is Gohan. Him being the strongest of all. And this ultimate form he uses, it literally reminds him of the Kai so much. And he think they had something to do with it. And it's Gohan reveal you're actually quite right. As Beerus to offer them, wanting them to get as strong as possible, he will offer them to have them come train under Whis. But Nappa himself is actually content with the power he have, thinking he can't get much any stronger. So he stays back using a proper guardian, and Piccolo also refuses, as he decides to stay back and train with Nappa and train up Goten and Trunks in order to use their God Key properly and use their power properly to begin with. And in this one, Vel doesn't reveal she's pregnant yet, so Gohan actually, since Gohan and Goku all know the Kakai, they can teleport to Beerus planet every single day and then teleport back like it's no big deal, at all. So they all would agree to go train with him. Eventually rub it off on Raditz Vegeta, and they actually do also end up picking up the Kai Kai. And from courtesy of the Supreme Kai, who ends up teaching them. And with proper training to use God Key on the Reese, they all properly master it this time, and not pseudo mastery they had, and they become far, far more powerful than it was. Eventually, being able to push Super Saiyan Blue to Super Saiyan Blue Evolution. As Lee says, you're not using your full capabilities of a Saiyan. Why don't you merge that form with that Ozaru Super Saiyan form you have? As they actually would be able to do it over these couple years, with them unlocking Super Saiyan 4 Limit Breaker. As they're impressed, and he noticed going to have a different form of power since he does unlock every time he unlocks a new transformation, it just gets added to his ultimate form. As Whis would notice Goku fight, and his body would move without thinking, and Goku says his masters have been teaching him this for years. And Whis begins to prep Goku for him to actually properly learn Ultra Instinct, and he thinks Goku could do it since he's already showing early signs of it. As Gohan would eventually go back to Earth, as well as Raditz, thinking they can't grow much or any stronger. As Raditz would like to go down his own path of power, and Raditz would actually go in reverse. He would begin to properly perfect Super Saiyan 4, but he can't perfect it, but he can't go any farther than that, or Zaro Super Saiyan. He can't go any farther than that at the current moment, being a Simple Blue with its most powerful transformation Limit Breaker. as Goku and Vegeta are constantly training, but with Vegeta spending some time with the boys in the time chamber, helps them to control their powers. Someone is able to slip off and use the Dragon Balls, and they end up resurrecting Frieza. As Frieza goes off, leaving the planet in a strict hurry to make sure no one notices him, and he actually decides he's going to train for a year or two, just to be sure he's powerful enough to kill those filthy monkeys that embarrassed him the last time. As Frieza was trained for exactly 1 year, and since he was able to unlock his golden form in 4 months, he's actually ends up perfecting it. As he asks for a status update on the sands, as he actually decides, even with the power he has now, and Frieza knows this, he is nowhere near capable of actually being able to take any of them on at the moment. They're just simply far beyond his league. And Frieza will learn the same lesson he did in canon, he did in canon later on in Super. Patience. Because patience is always what without patience, that's always what lets down to his background. So Frieza would fade off into the background, getting as strong as possible. But even with Frieza, he only trains for five more months. He only trains for 5 more months, unlocking it once again a new transformation. Something his something his brother had, as he calls it his fifth form, or super or super golden Frieza mocking the monkeys once again. And he makes his way to Earth. And the Z Fighters ends up sensing Frieza arrival with Raditz, Nappa, Gohan, Chi-Chi, Krillin, 18, 17, Tien, Chaozu, all facing off against Frieza and his army, while Goku and Vegeta is currently training inside of Whis Spear, and they currently have no idea what's going on. And the battle would begin with Gohan being able to wipe out most of Frieza's army by himself, while the humans goes on and wipe out the rest of the army, and Gohan and Raditz begins to face off with Frieza, with Frieza not holding anything back, knowing how powerful the Saiyans are. Not only from seeing events from Hell, hearing that his soldiers that they faced off against Lord Beerus, and they was able to defeat Majin Buu, which just infuriates him, and they begin fighting it as Frieza begins to power up more and more, and this forces Raditz to use Super Saiyan Blue evolution, and Gohan using more and more of his powers. And this battle is still actively tough, with Frieza creating a new technique, the Minefield Supernova, as these huge suns come flying down and surrounding Raditz and Gohan. As Gohan would use his own technique he picked up from Piccolo, taking control of the supernovas and push them back at Frieza. As the first one hits him, Frieza is able to tank it as its own powers being used against him. As Gohan will fly him up to space, going right in the sun, throwing Frieza in it as the supernovas would explode. As Frieza would just be furious as he flies out of it, and he begins punching Gohan, hitting Gohan with a psychic, trying to damage him as much as possible. But Raditz comes in on the side. Since Frieza somewhat forget this is the 2-on-1, he begins to gets infuriated, and he begins to power up more and more, eventually forcing Gohan to use his full power and pushing Raditz into Limit Breaker. As he begins to face off against Frieza once more, as Frieza goes into his fifth form, and Raditz and Gohan begins to be on the losing hand until Goku and Vegeta shows up, finally getting information from Whis. As they would each power up to the full, as Vegeta learned something specific, Vegeta would have been learning something specific from Beerus, as well as Goku getting specialized tutorage from Whis. Since he already had the basis for it, Goku would close his eyes, and when he opened them back up, his eyes would be silver. As with Vegeta, him not being able to use his power yet, with Goku facing Frieza alone, and Frieza would notice he can't touch Goku at all. But as soon as he was right, the power that Goku had would fade, and Goku would just go back into Master Limit Breaker and began facing off with Frieza, and Frieza making the same mistake he did in canon, not perfecting his fifth form, began to lose power really, really fast, and eventually be able to overwhelm him. As the Saiyans each power off a massive attack in order to obliterate Frieza. Frieza do it end up managing to escape, but losing an arm in the process. As they all think Frieza dead, they will all think Frieza is no more. And Frieza would leave to train and having the regeneration part would bring back his arm. He leaves a scar on it to make sure perfection, and Frieza begins to train his butt off, fading into the background, not doing anything to avoid the sands at all costs. As they each going down their specific routes of power, as Vegeta would begin to wrap up his training with Beerus, and Goku would begin to wrap up his personalized training with Whis, while Raditz would focus on himself, finally being able to push past Super Saiyan 4 into a new transformation. He basically just said, what if he merged Super Saiyan 2 with Super Saiyan 4 just like he did Super Saiyan God before? As Raditz would unlock Super Saiyan 5. And over the year or 2 years they have from now in the universe's tournament, Raditz would unlock his own unique transformation that no one else had the power of, including Gohan. He calls it Super Saiyan 5 Limit Breaker. And that's why I'm going to end this part off right here. I really do hope you all enjoyed. And I want to thank y'all for watching. I don't know, I haven't uploaded these yet. These are all being recorded on the same day. And it's like 12:59. But I really do hope you enjoy. I love y'all. Peace out.